All right, shalom, shalom. Let's give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakar Kadash, Divine Apostles, Great Millstone, Salutation, all you octaves and aquas, pushing the truth. Y'all coming in, y'all coming in. And, over the weekend, you had different events play out. The whole ICE and Border Patrol and the picking up of the Northern and Southern Kingdom. And what is the results of that? Your new reality on television that's going to be played this Monday in the next 5 minutes, 7 o'clock, all the way to 2 o'clock this evening, and y'all now finna be portrayed as this. But the scriptures tell us, 2 Corinthians 2:11, least Satan shall get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So let's see what his new device is. The ICBP and FBI agents were all at the scene, and at one point, anti-ICE protesters attempted to block a major roadway in Broadview, Illinois. State troopers made several arrests after that incident. Also, federal authorities say Border Patrol law enforcement officers were ambushed by domestic terrorists who rammed federal agents with their vehicles and boxed them in with their cars the night before in Broadview, Illinois, that same area where anti-ICE protesters have been gathering for weeks now. Take a look at this. DHS says this woman, Miramar Martinez, was driving one of the vehicles. They say she was armed with a semi-automatic weapon and has a history of doxing federal agents. And authorities identified this man that you see there as Anthony Ian Santos Ruiz. They say he was a driver of another vehicle in this incident. DHS said, quote, the scene became increasingly violent as more domestic terrorists gathered and began throwing smoke, gas, rocks, and bottles at DHS law enforcement. Another domestic terrorist was arrested for assaulting CBP at the scene. Extremely dangerous. Take a listen. A 10-car caravan followed and stalked our agents and then circled them in and pinned them down. They had to shoot their way out of their cars in order to get to safety. So we do have some bounties that have been released on the heads of our agents, $10,000 to kill them, and they're naming specific agents. So there you go. You Americans who had the freedom of rights to assembly, to protest, as long as it was lawful, are now domestic terrorists, and that's the story that they run into y'all. Thanks to the Patriot Act, because what did the Patriot Act do? It increased penalties. It created new terrorist-related crimes and increased the penalties for existing ones, including enhancing conspiracy charges related to terrorism. So you out there, and in 2026, well, 2011, I'm sorry, so like in 2011. And then in 26, Bush reauthorized the Patriot Act for minor reinforcements, 4 years, subset clause. And then 2015, Barack Obama brought it back, and it's still here to this day. And that's the storyline they running on y'all. Y'all heard it here first. That's why don't be ignorant of Satan devices. Now y'all terrorists. So let's get this second Exodus 15. We told y'all this was gonna happen. That's what we've been talking about. Second Exodus 15:1. Same scriptures. Prophecies are jumping off the page. Because now y'all domestic terrorists. The second Exodus 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ear of my people the word of prophecies, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So all y'all who don't believe what we telling y'all about Esau, Edom being the devil, which you just seen the white devil, Edomite, bluntly lying, calling the people the problem and terrorists, domestic terrorists. That's what y'all are now, domestic terrorists. So any of you Israelites from the northern and southern kingdom trying to stand up against ICE or any of the detainment of anything that's happening according to the president that y'all voted for, you are now a domestic terrorist. Good luck with that. So let's jump down to 15. This second Ezra 15 to 15. I'm gonna take it to 20. Now I'm gonna start at 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands, because the race riots are coming. Right now you got insurrection. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. See that? A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride and their city shall be their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be desolate, and man shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and great tribulation. And that's what you having happening. And it's coming more and more and more. And we see it more and more and more. That's why we just getting out y'all way. I'm gonna let y'all deal with the devil. Y'all got it. This 2 Timothy 2 and 4. It's 2 Timothy 2 and 4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. See that? So I'm not finna be out there protesting. I'm not finna be out there. I'm standing up for my Latin brothers, the Northern Kingdom. No, I'm not. I'm not entangling myself with none of these affairs. So I'm good. John ain't got nothing to do with that shit. No man that warreth entangling himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who has chosen him to be a soldier. See that? And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully. See that? So what is lawfully? Stay out of all that stuff. You ain't got nothing to do with none of that. I ain't finna be putting no blogs up. I'm not finna be arguing with y'all back and forth about who right on doing what. I have nothing to do with this world and you people of this world. This y'all world. Y'all got to deal with this shit. I ain't got to deal with this shit. Just like the Edomite yesterday. Uh, oh, you following too close to my car. I'm like, okay, Karen. She like, okay, nigger. Flip the bird. Okay, all I said is, okay, go Trump 2026. She followed me all the way to the goddamn house behind me. Why? Because their world is ending. That's why. They offended. See that this is their world and it's unraveling. So that's why even the officer told me though, he said, well, man, you know, you shouldn't, which I actually, but we do what the scriptures say. The scriptures say a soft answer turn away wrath. Don't interrupt the man in the middle of his speech. And what is it? Basically, like give a kind answer unless he send you to the judge. The judge send. Basically, I didn't have to stir up no strife of what was going on. Even though I'm in front of my house, Edom might follow me home. The point is, stick to the scriptures. We don't entangle ourselves in the affairs of this world. So I didn't get emotional and say, well, I'm at my house. This white woman, she thinks she's privileged. No, I just told him, look, Karen, white privilege days are over with. He said, what do you want me to do? Leave. Take her and leave. That's it. So, yeah, so we got to be mindful of what's going on in this world, and we don't entangle ourselves in these affairs. So I don't get in arguments at work about what's going on and who right and who started what and who did what. I'm not finna with my family members, friends, associate, co-workers, significant others, nothing. I ain't saying nothing to none of y'all ass. This John, gotta be 8:36. I got there 18. Or maybe it is. John 18. But yeah, we don't war ourselves in these affairs. St. John 18 and 36. 35, 36. Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight. See that? So we ain't got nothing to do with this. I don't care about what they do. I don't care which way they go. I ain't got nothing to do with it. So if you're a domestic terrorist, then that's what you is. If America your country and it's all being whatever, then that's on you. That's where I'm at. This Second Peter's 3:13. Nevertheless, we according to his promise. No, I'm gonna start. This Second Peter's 3:11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversations and godliness, looking for and hasten unto the coming of the day of our God, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelling righteousness. See, we ain't got nothing to do with this. So this on y'all. That's y'all president. It's y'all world. Welcome to being a domestic terrorist. Blacks, Latins, and Native Americans. Because y'all want to be Americans. Y'all want to be Latin American, Black American, Asian American. So now y'all domestic terrorists. Good luck.